Hey, what is happening, guys? Thank you for tuning into Rules for Rebels. Going to be doing something a little bit different today. Just kind of wanted to focus on this message, which is don't confuse movement with progress. And I think this is a really important message. I'll get into this in just a second here, but kind of what inspired this video is a Denzel Washington commencement speech. The title of the speech is Put God First. And you can find it on the Above Inspiration YouTube channel. I'll link to it in the description box below. I'm huge into like self-improvement, personal development type stuff. This was a very inspiring speech to me. Denzel Washington actually has a very, very interesting story. He dealt with a lot of failure before he finally found his success, and we all know where he's at today. A lot of great messages in the speech. He talks about hard work works. Working really hard works. He talks about when you've made it, when you've gotten what you're after, bring somebody else up with you. You know, pull somebody else up. Each one, teach one. He talks about fail big. Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. But one of the messages in the speech that I liked the most was when he talks about don't confuse movement with action. He says his mom said you can run in place for forever and not wind up getting anywhere. So that's something that I personally can relate to, and it's something that I really want to focus on in 2018 here. And I know I've talked to a lot of you guys through email and comments and things like that, and I know for a fact that a lot of you guys can definitely relate to this as well. And I see this in myself, you know what I mean? Like, I spend 12, 14, 16 hours a day working, and not to say like I'm a total goof and I don't get anything done, but I'm definitely somebody, I've talked about this a lot, I'm somebody who goes an inch deep and a mile wide as opposed to, you know, an inch wide and a mile deep. I have a lot of interest in a lot of different things. I'm very, very ADD, like not only like, what's the word? Like literally I have ADD on top of just being like, oh, I'm so ADD. But, you know, I'm kind of all over the place. I sometimes have a hard time focusing. But another thing, I get so excited about so many different projects and things like that that I find myself like, okay, I'm going to knock out some merch shirts. And okay, I'm going to go comment on some Reddit posts. And okay, I'm going to go make a video over here. And then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to launch this new Shopify website. And then I'm going to go over here. And it's, you know, a lot of movement, but not necessarily a lot of progress. So don't confuse movement with progress. You know, try to nail down a couple things that you want to focus on, and make sure you focus on those things till they're done. This is just kind of a little experiment I did today, but a lot of times I'll have like a million things I want to get done in a day. And I'll make lists, and you know, I think making lists is great. I notice I'm like 90% more likely to accomplish things when I actually write them down and put them on a list. So I think that's a big tip. But you know, these lists of like 20 things you need to do today or 50 things you need to do today, you hear a lot of people talk about how like when you're goal setting or making a list, like what are 3 things that you can do that'll make like the other 30 things that you need to do irrelevant. And I know it's not always the case where 3 things are going to knock out 30 other things, but you know, simplify your goals. Set out a couple things that need to get done today. It's so easy when you have so many tasks and so many things you want to do that, like, I mean, I noticed this. Like, I've been saying I wanted to get my office cleaned up for, you know, going on like 2 months. And every day it's on one of these things I need to do, but there's a million other things I need to do. And I feel like there's so much stuff and so much noise that I wind up getting nothing at all done. So kind of one of my new things is going to be kind of like pick 3 things per day that like no excuses absolutely have to get done. And it can be something simple. It can be like pay my credit card bill, get a YouTube video made, respond to 20 YouTube comments. But like pick 3 things that no matter what, I don't care if your grandma dies, these 3 things, I mean, it's kind of a terrible example. I don't want to talk about your grandma dying. But you guys get the point. No matter what comes up, if you're throwing up, if you're sick, you don't feel good, you're lazy, you had a bad day, no matter what, you got to get these 3 things done. And it's amazing. These 3 things are going to stack up because Monday you get 3 things done, Tuesday you get 3 things, so that's 6, Wednesday's 9, Thursday's 12, Friday's 16. So, you know, it's just everything compounds. If you can figure out a couple things you need to do every day that need to get done and are going to move you forward, all this stuff's going to compound, and all these projects that you have are going to wind up getting done, as opposed to when you want to do like a million different things and there's a lot of movement, you're doing a lot of things, but there's not a lot of progress. So something I'm really focusing on for the new year, for 2018. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this, and if any of you guys also struggle with like focus or with like accomplishing tasks, or if any of you guys have experienced that where like you feel really busy but you're not really making a whole lot of progress, any tips that you guys have to share, I'd love to hear them. drop them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button either on the bottom right or bottom left of the video, depending on if you're on mobile or the computer. I'm really trying to get a silver play button to put up right here, so help me out, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys out in, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later, guys.